So as long as I'm concerned, Sowore is missing the track, and a whole lot know that already. A whole lot know that already. If Sowore contests today, I don't think he's going to make up to 14,000 votes like he did last time. No much is going to contribute to him any longer, because this short time has proven his personality. You cannot be above 50s and be talking like you are under 20 or early 20s. President Goodluck Jonathan looked at the situation in 2015 and said his aspiration to lead Nigeria doesn't warp the blood of the masses. He withdrew. What is happening today? Those armies they set in the north to destabilize the country, they are now eating them there in the north. They cannot even fight them. All effort trying to push them around the country failed. But they would have had that opportunity to spread them if Goodluck stayed there. And they would blame it on him. A whole lot would have happened. But now, if you know what the North are suffering, those tens, hundreds being died every day, they are not ordinary numbers. They are human beings with flesh and blood like you and me. We can't tolerate that in the East. You can't tolerate that in the West. Do you understand? Our war was a terrible experience. Do you understand me? So, they will continue to deal with it there in any way they want to. They can tell all the lies they want to, but let them be with them there in the north. Goodluck Jonathan saved us that opportunity. Good morning, guys. I quickly went to say this based on the trend, the current trend, on Sowore precisely, and the blackmail he published against Fidelity Bank and His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, the two-time former governor of Anambra State and the presidential candidate of Labour Party in 2023 election. Based on fact, ordinarily I wouldn't have wanted to, but being a fact that we are struggling to break loose from a certain cabal that gripped on our neck and refused to let us go, and in doing that, we shouldn't mix facts and fallacies or wrong and right. Sowore has achieved some right. Sowore has also made a lot of errors. So on this, I praise him for those he got right and want to condemn those he got wrong. And if he wish to change, that will be a plus. Those who understand or who know the meaning of the lyrics in a song dance better. But those who don't, dance sound. And when the music loses an inspiring lyrics, it's no longer music, it's noise, distraction. I hope you understand the point I'm trying to make. In the last election, Sowore scored 14,600 votes. That makes him an opposition, right? Yeah. That makes him a former presidential candidate, yes. But in pragmatism, in reality, Sowore is not bigger or greater than those who learn from His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi's ideology, records, and achievements. In that, Mr. Peter Obi, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, didn't mention his name while addressing his blackmail against him. But for him, that seems like an addition to his profile, to trend side by side with His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. He seemed to be celebrating it as an achievement. That honestly is childish. That shows more of emptiness, that shows of inconsequential personality, and in fact, malicious intended. Because if you consider yourself important and objective, and that your record speaks, you don't need to publish lies, blackmail, blatant lies, unfounded against anybody at all. Publishing blatant lies, blackmailing is malicious. Record shows that Sowore specializes on this. Free speech revolves around objective criticism, presenting verifiable facts, and sharing personal opinions. Activism, on the other hand, is standing up for what is right and defending social justice, not unguided on trances, causes, threats, or praising radicals who do same. You don't mix these and claim to be on track. Sowore, who isn't yet able to add wisdom to knowledge, contradict himself most often. This cannot be said of David Hundeyin at all, because the record of David Hundeyin speaks for him. When he calls to contribute in a radio program or television program, the person being interviewed or the politician being interviewed and the host is placed on a hot seat because they know they are talking to somebody who have facts and figures, who is there to present facts and not blackmail and not lies and not call names. And he will do that civilized, objectively, and intentionally. These online guys that do not research, rant on trend calls and threat people, and in the next minute, they beg money randomly online via comment section and asking for public donations as if that is a public appointment or assignment, by the public that will pay them. And thereafter, Sowore stand for them. Good. Like he stood for Ijele. Good. I will come to that. When they talk themselves into troubles, it is yet patriotic, very patriotic to help their release. But enlightening, educating them is vital, not praising them and giving them platform to continue their trade. What army is Sowore raising? Touts and radicals? That seems like. Pragmatically, in pragmatic times, what experience did Sowore has? SUG president, the last time I checked. SUG president, that is Student Union Government. Not even NANS, National Association of Nigerian Students. That is of Boys in School Association. He hasn't been in any executive position of any political level, managed different level of constituted authorities, billions of public funds, and all that. He hasn't managed any of these. His campaign donation was a sad story. I may not know what the truth is, but it was a sad story. An imaginary driver driving from his comfortable place, for example, from Lagos to East, don't experience accident. Because all you will see him do, I drive from this place, I get to this place, I park, I eat, and I got to Lagos. You imagine you are driving from Lagos to East with West, imagination, sitting in your comfort zone. Words aren't works, and wisdom supersedes knowledge. You cannot be the enemy of everybody yet claim to have what it takes to unite a country as diversified as Nigeria, let alone managing trillions, multiple institutionalized authorities. I mean, Sowore can be worse than a joint of Tinubu and Buhari if he sees power and influence. Non-objective protests is unnecessary risk when it comes to a change of government. You must identify and target the root. In this case, the INEC is the root. Revolution now, how? You list hundreds of symptoms ignoring the root through which government is instituted, but protesting for bad government and all that. Does it sound problem solving to you? It doesn't. It is the electoral law and body that should be the horn to hold on and push for. Its sanitization and the pace is set. What I'm trying to say is, he stood for Ijele and a whole lot of these guys, and what we find out is that at the end of the day, he gave them platform to continue what they're doing. No, you must see something good in somebody and something push that person to make those utterances. You must sit such person down as somebody with wisdom and experience, educate him, enlighten him to do better, and if possible, find something doing for him if you can. If you cannot, you try to put him in the right track, not giving such persons platform to continue their trade. What kind of army do you want to raise? What kind of army? You don't make enemy of everybody. What is your strategy? And you want to make a change? No. You must see good. You must see influence in somebody that you can methodologically, attract to yourself and set the pace. Do you understand? A tree doesn't make a forest. I don't want to bring Mazen Nnamdi Kanu into this situation or into this context, but he played a very vital role because he came at the time we need him most. His efforts stopped the influx of Fulani herdsmen and Fulajikas into the southeast and stopped them because that is their target to destabilize completely. He stopped them. He will be released. He has no thing wrong against the government. If he has, let them judge him. Standing for secession or asking for a self-determination is not a crime. Standing for secession or asking for a self-determination is not a crime. If you cannot address it systematically, politically, or otherwise, then handle it. You don't pick somebody up and jail him because he did, or, it doesn't happen anywhere. So what I'm trying to say, let me just digress a bit or add to it. In 1966, when Nzogwu and January 15th boys stopped Islamization that Nzogwu's intelligence found out, they preempted it on January 15th. None of you know. They didn't tell you even up to today. You don't know. But they saved us from Fula jihad, mass payment of Yorubas, Middle Beltans, and in fact, the Igbos, using the military officers. They didn't tell you that. To stop an institution steeped in nepotism, corruption, and intending to institutionalize Islamization. You and I are free now to say whatever we want to say, even do whatever we want to do, because you and I have the freedom. If you've been, subjected to Islamization, you wouldn't have the right. Somebody sacrificed for that. They paint stories, they do all what they're doing, and some are even confessing. Okay? But they have sacrificed that. Only the fools